Trump's tariff completely failed. They're supposed to cripple the Chinese economy and force China to come to the United States to make a deal. Instead, China showed the middle finger and told Trump to shove it. It's now the end of the year and the Chinese exports have crossed $1 trillion. China became the first country in history to cross $1 trillion surplus. Despite Trump announcing tariffs on every US trading partner, with China, the escalation was on a completely different level. He started with a 10% tariff in February. In March, he doubled it to 20%, and by Liberation Day, the total tariffs on China were about 54%. China instantly retaliated by imposing similar tariffs on all US goods. China is the largest buyer of US soybeans, so American farmers were furious. They were about to lose their biggest client, but Trump did not hesitate. He escalated again, hiking tariffs to 84%, then 125%. This is the highest tariffs the United States ever imposed on any country. It's supposed to cripple the Chinese economy. China's economy was devastated by the pandemic. Even though that the rest of the world began lifting slowly restrictions, China didn't seem like it's about to recover. But the pandemic revealed a major problem in the Chinese economy. The real estate market was the major driving force behind Chinese economy. It accounted for about 30% of the entire China's GDP. But starting from 2021, major Chinese developers began collapsing, such as Evergrande. China built far more homes than it needed. In fact, China had about 70 million empty houses across the entire country. It was the 2008 housing bubble on steroids. It was a matter of time before the bubble burst and takes down the entire Chinese economy. So when Trump announced tariffs on China, many thought that is going to be the final blow. It will finally burst China's economic bubble. But China didn't blink. It reacted and responded accordingly by imposing similar tariffs on the United States. While countries like the EU and the UK crawled to Washington to make a deal, Beijing didn't care. Instead of a deal, America only managed to get a 90-day truce. And since then, they're simply extending that truce every 90 days. China doesn't even seem interested in striking a deal with the United States, as if the US shot itself in the foot. China built its economy on the shoulders of American consumers. For the last 40 years, China was dumping cheap goods into America. Americans didn't mind low prices, and China used that window to build its economy way faster than anyone expected. China's GDP back in 1990 was about $300 billion, while the US GDP was about $6 trillion. Nobody could possibly imagine that China one day would challenge the United States' economic dominance. Even 10 years ago, imposing such draconian tariffs on China would have crippled its economy. But today, it is the United States that seems the desperate partner that is seeking to strike a deal. Despite China's massive economy, it has one major weakness. Its domestic market is very weak. Without massive exports, China cannot possibly achieve the 5% GDP target growth that is set by the CCP. The United States accounts for about 15% of the total Chinese exports. Even if tariffs cut that number in half, that would put an end to the Chinese economic miracle, and Chinese GDP growth would have fallen to the US levels of 2 to 3%. But China beat all odds. China quickly replaced the US market with Southeast Asia and Europe. ASEAN countries were once considered emerging economies, but today they collectively have a $4 trillion GDP and are expected to hit $6 trillion within the next few years. They became a crucial destination for Chinese exports, allowing China to simply ignore the US tariffs. Basically, we're no longer back in the 2000s. China's neighbors are rich enough, wealthy enough, and can absorb huge amount of Chinese exports. But it's not just about China's neighbors. In the first 4 months of 2025, China's trade surplus with the EU crossed $90 billion, which was a record. Both sides were under the pressure of the US tariffs, so they had to cooperate closely in order to ease the US tariffs. China's surplus with the European Union this year is going to surpass $300 billion. China is no longer the country that manufactures low-quality deteriorated products, but rather high-tech products. electronics, EVs, machinery, leaving the EU with no other option but to import advanced technologies from China. Europe is not happy, of course. For decades, Europe maintained a trade balance with China, importing roughly as much as it was exporting to China. But because Europe was focused on shifting to clean energy and electrifying its cars, it became dependent on Chinese EVs. EU automakers stand no chance against China. China has spent hundreds of billions of dollars building the most efficient supply chain and production facility, which allows China to offer the kind of quality at a price that nobody can literally match. Since 2022, Europe has been struggling with high energy prices, rising cost of living, and their commitments to support Ukraine. So China seized the opportunity and started massively exporting to the EU. So tariffs couldn't cripple the Chinese exports. In fact, Chinese exports had their best year ever. If the US imposed similar tariffs 10 years ago, probably they would have worked. But not today. Back in the days, China was not the dominant supplier of rare earth minerals. It was still dumping cheap products into the global economy and was still relying on the United States for high technology. But today, the situation is very different. While the United States is still ahead of China technologically, US companies rely on China as much as China relies on the United States. Trump can't even stop the US companies from buying from China. Over the last few decades, as the United States and the EU were focusing on becoming more environmentally friendly, China took the opportunity and took over the rare earth industry. Now, rare earths are not as rare as you might think, but turning them into a sustainable, profitable business is extremely difficult, and China did that only by monopolizing the entire industry. Today, China processes 80 to 90% of all rare earth minerals. The United States' entire military industrial complex, the entire AI industry relies on Chinese rare earth minerals. Regardless of how high the tariffs are going to be on China, the US companies literally have no other option but to go and buy them from China. There is no one else that is selling them. In fact, Donald Trump now is begging China to continue selling the rare earth minerals to the US companies. Another major product that the US companies cannot possibly live without are lithium-ion batteries, and the US firms entirely depend on Chinese batteries, even for powering data centers. Chinese lithium-ion batteries accounted for 65% of all total imports from China in the first half of 2025. The only way that Trump can stop US companies from buying from China is by developing an American rare earth industry. That will not happen overnight. It will take the United States at least a decade and hundreds of billions of dollars in government investment to make that possible. And we know for a fact that's not going to happen, at least not in the next 2 to 3 years. China has another advantage over the United States. Energy is the backbone of industrial power. Without energy, you can't even compete with AI, because AI requires a lot of energy to power all those data centers. In fact, the United States by 2030 will have to double its energy production just to keep up with AI demand. Unlike the United States, China has access to much cheaper energy. Yes, China was not blessed with a lot of oil and gas just like the United States or Middle East, but while the United States was in a conflict with major oil countries such as Venezuela, Iran, and Russia, behind the scenes, China was making deals with those countries to buy their oil and gas under the market price. This allowed Chinese factories to operate much more efficiently. So while factories in places like Germany are closing down due to high energy cost, factories in China are lowering down their prices to gain much more market share. So what exactly tariffs have accomplished against China? Tariffs did not stop the Chinese exports, but they certainly impacted negatively the US economy. The US inflation by the end of 2024 was about 3%. That is high, but is far better than 4.1% that was the year prior to that. And the Federal Reserve was already on a trajectory to hit an inflation rate of 2% by the end of 2025. But that's not happening. Guess why? Because tariffs increase the price of goods, which leads to high inflation, which means now the Federal Reserve cannot possibly lower interest rates to the bare minimum that it needs to do because the United States is entering a recession. High inflation puts enormous pressure on the US government because it increases the interest payments. Even though that the Fed somehow managed to lower interest rates to about 3.75%, the yields on 10-year government bonds are about 4.13%, while the yields on 30-year government bonds are at about 4.8%. At first glance, it does not seem like a big difference, but given the size of the US debt, it costs the US taxpayers hundreds of billions of dollars annually. While tariffs negatively impacted the average American, the stock market had a phenomenal year. The S&P 500 alone is up by about 20% since January of this year. But not all Americans are going to benefit out of that, because top 10% of Americans own 90% of the entire stock market. And that's normal because most Americans are not taught financial education back in school. That's why I created the Investing Academy, the place where you can learn everything you need to know about investing so that you can start investing today and feel confident about your investment. The Academy is going to become a paid community very soon, but for now you can join for free. So do not miss your opportunity. The link is in the description of this video.